Remember, all you need to know is that you are the I am. You are the source. All you have to do is become your own evidence. You don't have to look anywhere outside of you for any sort of evidence to know who you are and who you're becoming and what you're going to manifest. It's all within you. And when I learned that, everything changed for me, inside and outside. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to do a shorter one today. It is steamy out here. It's like 95 degrees again, but I just love being out here. I'm not going to be cooped up inside anymore. So it's me and, it was me and Tyson. I don't know where Tyson went, but he was here. So he may be coming back to grace us with his presence. But yeah, this is video 83 of 365. I'm Samantha. I'm a therapist, and I have, I think, gotten over my fear of the camera by now. So it's pretty cool. So thank you all for joining me on this journey. I appreciate all of you so much. And yeah, we're just going to get right into it about how you need to remember who you are. Seriously, remember who you are. If you don't know who you are, get still with yourself. Just be still. Be still and know, like the Bible says, be still and know that I am. You have everything inside of you that you need to create anything that you want. And it took me a long time to learn about self-concept. It just wasn't clicking and manifestation and how it all worked. But when you understand how reality works, that it is a literal projection of your imagination, which sounds like woo-woo, magic. But if you would just become your own evidence and gather your own data instead of listening to me or other people and try it for yourself, you'll see very quickly that your patterns of thought will reflect out in people and in events and all kinds of things. So that's why I encourage people think about your childhood patterns, things that popped up back then, even though it doesn't seem valuable to maybe look at the past. I like to just look at different belief systems that were created, and then we don't need to focus on any more than that. Just, where did this belief come from that you have about yourself that's a lie? Like, I'm not good enough. Well, that's a lie. Well, where did that come from? Who said that to you? And how many times have you said that to yourself? That's the main thing to remember. It doesn't matter who really said it to you at this point. It matters that you're carrying it on into the now, and you're still saying it to you. So it's almost like self-abuse. That's how I look at it. I make it bigger, and I say, I'm abusing myself, and I'm tearing myself down when I need to be building myself up. The more you build yourself up, the better you're going to be at this, the better you're going to feel. It's just you in your own reality, and you're having a human experience with all these other humans who are also having their own experiences in all these different realities. And when I learned this in my quantum physics classes I took and all the other workshops I attended and just all these things I've read over the years and learned and kind of pieced together, because one thing wouldn't make sense and then something else would, and I'd be like, okay, I can't put this together. And then finally it gelled, and I was like, okay, how can I keep this as simple as possible? And the only thing that made sense and that I've seen work is focusing from within, because that's all we have. We have now and we have ourselves, and that's all you need. You need your mind and you need the now, and that's it. And so even today, I had a lot of stuff to do today, and I was like, how am I going to fit all this in and get everything done? I normally don't have that much to do on the weekends, but I did today. I had something extra that took a long time to get done. And I said, wait a minute, you only have now. Don't worry about it. What does it matter? What does it matter if you only have now? And that really helped snap me back into reality again. Even I have to do that sometimes. So it's like you got to say things to yourself that, and you can use the word, snap you back into your own reality, back into your own now. And remember, there's only now. You only need to work with now. That's it. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to really plan for right now in the now. You just kind of sit there for a little while. And then the now becomes another now and another now, and it becomes the future. So everything unfolds very easily if we just surrender to the now moment. And that means being still and not getting riled up, not responding in a way that makes it look like what's happening isn't valid for us, because every event that's happening is there for your benefit. There's something going on that you're creating. It's almost like we create situations to create skills to navigate the situation. Isn't that crazy? And then we have this like tool belt with, you know, a bunch of skills in it that we can pull out and pop into something else to create more skills for other events that happen. So there's always a benefit. If you'll just look for the benefit in everything, you'll see that there is something there for you to learn that you're taking with you on your life journey, and that you're being shaped and molded every single second of the day into this person that you're becoming. But I think it's really fun to use the imagination and create those scenes that imply that you already have what you want, or you already are the person who has what you want, whatever that is. And so, because it's very easy to go back to the old way of thinking. It's always easy to do that. We want to do the more healthy thing, which would be to focus forward, not backwards. Focus forward. What do I want to feel like today? Because you get to choose. Every event that happens, you get to choose how you feel. We always say, like, you know, I'm anxious and I'm depressed and I'm this and I'm this. It is a choice to think of something in a different way. We just don't believe it because we're so addicted to the way we think. And it took me a while to realize that too. I have been, you know, victim mentality at times, self-pity and all, makes me sick to think about. I can't even go there anymore. It's so almost disgusting to me that I was doing that. But that's what the old me did, because the old me was helping me survive what was going on. And so I appreciate the old me. And now I'm the new me. I don't need to worry about the old me anymore. So it's like, if you focus forward, focus your energy, because where your focus goes, your energy is going to flow right to it every single time. So remember that you're addicted to the way you currently think. If you look at it like that, it's a lot easier to like snap you into reality again and be like, oh, okay. Because sometimes when we talk to ourselves, we really don't believe what we're saying half the time. But if you'll just tell yourself like some sort of mantra or some little, you know, thing to get you back into reality and be like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm working on this manifestation stuff. I'm working on talking to myself better. And just kind of like instruct yourself to kind of move this way instead of the old way. That really helped me a lot, because I'd have to say, oh yeah, remember, you're working on this, remember? And you might have to do that a bunch of times. But you're training your brain to look right instead of left, or forward instead of back. That's what you're doing. You're training your mind, and that takes some time, because if you're working out, you know, your muscles, you got to go to the gym. You got to work them out. Just like you got to work the muscle of your mind. It takes some time, and you've got to go to the mental gym and put in the reps and just have fun while you're doing it. That's the main thing. Enjoy what you're doing, because this is your life. You get to decide what you have in it. You get to decide what you create. You get to decide how you feel. The way you feel is generated through your internal thoughts. So when you have an intentional thought, like I'm going to think, instead of thinking about this huge thing over here, I'm going to think about butterflies. How beautiful are butterflies? Or I'm going to think about this pool back here. Oh my gosh, the waterfalls. And then when the chimes are going, you know, in the background, when it's windy and things like that, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It feels so peaceful. I just generated a feeling of like peace. If I would have gotten into it, maybe closed my eyes and thought more about it. I generated that feeling. You can train your mind to generate these feelings all day long. And I think this is one of the most important things we can do to manifest anything, is to first manifest your feeling from within, because the state of being is all you need to worry about. A state of being equals your vibration, equals your frequency. It's all the same thing. Self-concept, it's all tied in together. A state of being is so important, because that's where all your energy and your power is. So it's almost like you're harnessing your power, getting it ready like a Power Ranger or whoever, I don't know, superheroes, whoever. And you're just kind of taking that energy in, and then you're going to project it out onto your clean slate of your reality. And you're going to tell the actors and actresses what they need to be doing. You're the star of the show, so you get to decide what you want to do. Practice this. Practice generating feelings. I promise you, it will surprise you so much, you'll not even think it's funny. I mean, it's crazy. Imagine certain scenes that imply you have what you want. Think about things like if you are, say if you're in a wheelchair or something like that. Well, the doctor tells you, oh, you're going to have to be in a wheelchair and you're not going to be able to run and jump and play and do any of these things anymore. Start imagining running, jumping, playing basketball, whatever you want to do. Imagine what you can't do right now. If a doctor told you can't do something, or if you want something and you were told you can't have it, something like that. Just create a scene in your mind that implies that you already can do it and you already have it. And then start thinking about, what would that person that has this, what would I be feeling if I had this, or if I were doing this? What would I be thinking, feeling? What would I wear? How would I talk? What would I think of the world? How would I feel inside? I think is one of the most potent things we can do, is ask ourselves, how would I feel if I had that? Why do I want this thing so much? Because we only want something because we think we're going to feel better when we actually have it. So really keep that in mind, that no matter what you get, you're still taking yourself with you into the next scene, And it's like, when I learned that too, and I really internalized it, I was like, I need to learn how to generate the feelings first, because that's when everything comes. And then you can like doubly enjoy everything. It's just amazing what happens when you decide. You just say, I'm going to decide today, or I'm going to practice this deciding thing. What Sam's saying today, like, I'm going to practice deciding today. I'm going to practice choosing a different thought. What could I choose today? We have like 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and like 90% of them, 90 to 95% of them are the same that we had yesterday. So that's why we feel stuck, because we're thinking and feeling the same way we felt yesterday. So you have to teach your brain and body to feel a different future before you have it, if that makes sense. Teach your body and brain how to feel before you have it. This future, this perceived future, how would that feel? And then what happens is your brain and body start to believe they're actually in it. You've trained it. You've trained the animal to believe it's in the future that's not even here yet, but you felt it. So it's real, because again, brain and body don't know what's true or false. So it's real right now when you're thinking about it. So tell yourself that, oh, this is real because I just felt it. It's real. That helped me a lot too. When I thought, oh my gosh, I just created it because I thought about it. It's here. I just felt it. And then you find that you may not even want that thing because you already felt the feeling. And then you're like, nah, I don't even need it anymore. It's just icing on the cake when I get it. It's just so much fun, guys. Just practice this and really know that state of being is all you need. Like, what state are you in? Are you in a state of lack? Or are you in a state of abundance? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you in scarcity or abundance? Think about that. Scarcity is going to be victim mentality, pity, all the lower vibration feelings that do not really serve us. You want to acknowledge them, and you want to ask, where did this feeling even come from? Why do I continue to think these thoughts that make me feel this way? Don't I want to be nicer to myself? And you just have to reprogram that, because that stuff has been there for a long, long time. Somebody probably told you some stuff when you were little, or you picked up on environmental cues that you saw around you with your parents or your lack of parents or your siblings, or even as a teenager, if you had a job and it was hard, you might be thinking about that as well, like things that were said to you. There's just so many factors that come into our self-worth and what we think of ourselves and our value. So really, if you're feeling sad on a daily basis, I want you to go back to your belief systems, because they were created a long time ago, and I guarantee they're linked with something that you're feeling today. That it's an old feeling that's coming up from childhood. A lot of times it's the I'm not good enough feeling, or I can't do enough. I'm not noticed, I'm not chosen. I'm responsible to fix everybody's problems. Why me? Why do I have to always be the strong one? Things like that. It comes from this childhood stuff, which I'll get into deeper stuff with that later on. But examine your beliefs and your definitions about things, because that is what is generating your mental state. And your mental state is what is projecting out. And that's what you're going to get back. Remember, do not argue with the mirror. Do not be frowning at the mirror and expect it to smile. You got to smile first at the mirror, so then it can smile back to you. Remember, do not argue with it. Let it be, accept it, pull out the gems. What do I need to learn from this? What is a gem that I need to take with me today? What might this be connected to in a belief system that was created when I was 5 years old that I don't need anymore, that my little brain decided to wire it this way to protect me and to make sense of what was happening? It might have been a confusing situation you were in, or a very abusive situation you were in. And if your parents abused you or neglected you, it's very confusing because it's chaos, for one thing, for a child. And it's confusing because it's like, this person is supposed to love and protect me, but yet they're doing the opposite of that. But yet I still have to live with them, and I still have to follow their rules. And that's injustice right there. You know, it's like, there's just so many things that are confusing about that. So I really advise examining the belief systems. And then once you examine them and you're able to bring logic to them, they pretty much dissipate. It's like alchemizing them. They just dissipate. You don't need them anymore. And then you'll find that you'll start thinking differently about yourself naturally. You just naturally kind of move there and you don't have to do much work. So it's like you get to decide what technique works best for you. Shifting the identity has worked best for me, just starting to think about who do I want to become? Because I noticed that I was kind of stagnant in one area, and I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, well, I'm having the same thoughts that I had yesterday, and I'm not really changing a lot today. So I've got to deliberately change my thoughts with intention. How do I want to feel? Okay, if I want to feel this way, I can't believe or think this way anymore. I've got to think a different way. So that's whenever I turn things around in those areas. Feeling bad feels so icky to me now. I don't want to feel bad ever again. So if I ever do start to feel a twinge, I'm like, oh, I got to generate the feeling. Let's do some generation. Let's do it. And I make myself do it for a second, and then poof, it's gone. It's alchemized quickly. You can do that at any moment, anytime. You got this. If you need my help, I do offer coaching if you want some. Link is in the description. If you need anything, please let me know. Please feel free, if I could talk, please feel free to keep commenting. I love all your comments, and email me if you have any questions as well. If you don't like to post publicly, I totally understand that completely. So you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm sweating again. I'm going to turn this camera off and get inside and get cool again. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful Saturday evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.